No cars means no parking, no garages, no parking spaces, so more space for social areas.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out a look at America's first car-free city. Yes, that is correct, guys. It sounds like, and again, I've never watched this before, first time reaction, watching it together for the first time with you guys, my wonderful viewers. Sounds like America is building, or possibly already has built, a car-free city. The original channel, CNBC Television. Links down below. Make sure you check it out. I'm going to click like on the video. You guys should too. And yeah, right here it says CNBC's Diana Olick joins Power Lunch to report on America's first car-free city. Power Lunch must be a segment they do on that news station. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to check it out, see what this is all about. This is something that's long overdue, because the rest of the world already has car-free cities, pretty much anywhere in Europe.
As more Americans work from home, they are changing the way they live, seeking more social, walkable communities. But are they willing to give up their cars entirely? One real estate developer is making a bet that in Tempe, Arizona, they will.
I doubt they will. I doubt they'll give it up completely, because there's a ton of other stuff that community is not going to offer, that they're going to have to drive to nearby places to get to. And yeah, that little community or that little city or whatever, right, might have some great car-free stuff. But again, outside of that, you got the rest of America, which is very much car dependent. So anything outside of that little community, they'll need a car for.
That's where we find CNBC's senior real estate correspondent, Diana Olick. Hi, Diana.
Hey, Contessa. Yeah, this new $170 million rental community has all the amenities: the fitness center, the dog park, the outdoor kitchens. Well, what it does not have is cars. Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson said it's what Americans want.
Well, yeah, it's what the world wants in general, but America is far behind on car-free anything. Public transportation, all that stuff is just kind of like on the back burner here. But it sounded like it was just a rent community. So you can't actually just go there and buy a home. You just have to rent it. So that's, you know.
In the U.S., we've been building the wrong kind of housing for 100 years. We've built sprawl, and it's created car dependency, and it's made us lonelier, less healthy, and less happy. And what people want is to live in walkable neighborhoods.
Right. They've been watching Not Just Bikes, or maybe my reactions to Not Just Bikes.
Now, retail, restaurants, and close to 200 apartments in the first phase. No cars means no parking, no garages, no parking spaces, so more space for social areas.
Nice.
The complex is strategically located right next to the area's light rail system. All residents get a free pass. The first 200 also get a free electric e-bike, and a partnership with Lyft gets them discount rides. Now,
very cool. Right next to the train, so you can go into the city, which is probably car dependent. So once you get in the city, it's on you. You know, do you need a car after that? Or is that city, the closest city to that, car free too? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Those are the partners. Investors in Cul-de-sac's $30 million Series A include Lennar, one of the nation's largest home builders, and Khosla Ventures and Founders Fund. As part of the community, first floor studios are rented to small businesses, and some of the business owners actually live here as well.
You know, that's how it used to be in the 1800s. You know, you see a lot of these old towns and stuff that still have like buildings from the 1800s. And some of them still use the apartments upstairs. Like, so you'd have the businesses on the bottom and apartments up top. And that's how it used to be. But again, those were from the 1800s. That was before cars were made. So they were still designing them that way.
It's not as like affordable out here as it was a few years ago, you know, and having that opportunity to live and work where you are and just have it as one, that's perfect.
Hell yeah.
Now, walkable neighborhoods are, of course, all well and good when the weather is fine and lovely like it is now. But in Tempe, Arizona, in the summer, it can be well over 100 degrees for weeks at a time. So the summer will be the real test to see if this idea can go the distance.
It can also get that hot here. We have in northern Indiana, we have like, I don't want to say the best of both worlds. I want to say the worst of both worlds. Like it can be over 100 degrees for a week straight, like it was this last summer. And then, of course, in the wintertime, it can be like below freezing, like Arctic temperatures for weeks at a time. So, yeah.
Back to you guys.
But it's interesting because it might be the first planned community to forbid cars or parking or whatever, but lots of people live without cars. I mean, look at New York City. So the advantage in New York City is that, yeah, you can go out and just walk to where you need to go and use mass transit. But I mean, Phoenix is a car town. Tempe is a car town. And it's not like that light rail gets used very much.
Yeah, exactly. So once they get into Phoenix, I guess that's the closest place, they're going to have to be dependent on a car. Exactly what I was thinking.
Well, actually, it does seem to get used a lot by the people who live here. And that's the idea. It's a test run. Look, is Phoenix going to give up its cars forever? No, this is a city of sprawl. And some of the people I talked to said, one guy said he actually moved out of Arizona because he couldn't stand being so car dependent and living in all that sprawl, moved back, moved here because he liked this idea. So the idea is more that they're offering you other options because society is changing toward that shared transportation. They're not anti-car. They're just anti-everybody having a car because in Arizona, it's something like there are 8 parking spaces for every car.
Okay, so it's not society is changing. It's just America is starting to wake up and realize that, hey, the rest of the world does it this way. Why are we so far behind?
Probably not.
What do you do when your friends come over?
So when your friends come over, there is a parking lot that is next to the community where they can park so they can go to the restaurant that's here. They can also go to the stores that are here. Okay. But nobody here in the complex has a parking space, a garage. They don't waste that space. And, it's not like you can't own a car. You just keep it somewhere else. But the idea, again, is to depend on community transportation rather than using so many cars and so much gasoline and so many emissions, might I say.
As you walk around the area, could you see yourself living there? In other words, are there sufficient dry cleaners, or for me, the coffee shop, the liquor store, whatever it is, so that you could get by?
That guy, he's like, is there dry cleaners, coffee stores, and liquor stores? That's all I care about. He's sitting there in his nice suit and he's dry clean with his morning cup of coffee. Probably when he gets off work, he takes a shots of whiskey.
Without having to go get in a car and go to a grocery or a Target or whatever.
Well, honestly, you'd have to walk out of the community for certain services like that. There is a grocery store in the community. But what I ask is, people with kids. Look, anybody who has kids, I had them. You are moober and doober when they're from middle school up until they get a license in high school. So I think it would be hard for families to live in a community like this because they have to drive their kids to so many different places. So again, maybe this is more for young people. Maybe it's more for retirees who aren't so car dependent. It's an experiment. Is the whole country going to go this way? Probably not. But it could work for a lot of people.
It should.
Diane Olick, thanks very much.
And they need to do like a school there and a bigger, stores that have everything you need, like a meat market, right? A bread store, the dry cleaner, like he's talking about, maybe a pub or something where you can go get a drink and you're not worrying about driving drunk or, which you shouldn't do anyways, but people do. And you can go and do all these things without having to get on the train and go into Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of almost defeats the purpose. But again, she said it's an experiment. They're trying to figure it out. They need to take a couple trips over to the Netherlands, where it's very pedestrian and biking friendly. And there's a lot of cities over there that's car free, or at least car less. Like there's less of them.
Go this way? Probably not, but it could work for a lot of people.
Interesting. Diane Olick, thanks very much.
If you've ever been to the villages, though, you see there what they do is everybody's got their golf cart and they're using the golf paths, and it's maybe not walkable, but it's rideable in a little mini electric vehicle. It's very interesting. It works.
That's a way of skirting around the rules, son. Well, we'll just get on our golf cart. That's just a mini tiny car. But hey, it takes up a lot less space than a real car, right?
It's there.
I took a vacation to Bald Head Island in North Carolina. Same way. No cars, golf carts. You biked, you carted around. It was cool.
As more American.
Very cool, guys. Let's see what these comments have to say. How about that, right? It says, a bit misleading. It's a neighborhood or perhaps a village if you're willing to stretch the definition. Certainly not its own city. Yeah, I agree. And they even called it a community, right? They even said, you have to get on the train or the tram or whatever they called it to go into the nearest actual city. So it's not really a city. It's just kind of clickbait to call it that. It says first thing he thought of that he couldn't live without was a dry cleaners, right? And then coffee and then liquor. That must be his process through the day. He gets up, he has to make sure he has nice dry clean clothes, Then he goes with the morning coffee, and then the liquors at the end of the day. So he's just going through the thought process of his day, right? And it says right here, the entire world does this already. Kudos to Ryan. So Ryan must have been the guy that was interviewed early on in the video that was talking about it. Probably watches not just Mike's channel or something. I don't know. Yeah, right here, another one. Basically every city in Europe. Yeah, I agree. It's already been done. It's been done for 1,000 years. You know, they just got to go to Europe and figure out how they're doing it over there. But that's pretty good, pretty interesting, and maybe they'll catch on. Maybe it'll start spreading around, and they're going to see like, hey, this works, and it'll start being in other places and stuff like that here in the United States. Maybe we're finally on the right path, guys, to you know, being less car dependent, right? That'd be amazing. Finally, the world is starting to wake up, or America's starting to wake up and be like, whoa, we've been doing things wrong for this long. The rest of the world's doing it much better. Let's do that, right? So, anyways. Let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are on this and all that good stuff. And you guys have a super fun, awesome day. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.